Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to the channel. Today we have Carlos Alcaraz taking on Daniil Medvedev. And listen, it's a rematch of Indian Wells earlier this year where Carlos Alcaraz absolutely crushed Daniil Medvedev. It's a rematch of that match, but look, I mean, listen, it's grass courts. It's completely different conditions. The conditions are completely different. That was only one match. I've seen some people say Medvedev's got no chance in this match. I'm not going into it with that mindset. I'm just curious to see what it looks like. I do think that Alcaraz is the favorite. I think that he's a big favorite, but I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as Indian Wells. But let's see what happens. The slow conditions of Indian Wells really hurt like Medvedev in a big way. Also, he was super tired. He did not play his best tennis. He didn't serve a single ace in that match. He was doing terrible on serve. He just wasn't playing his game at all. Um, and I don't know. The slow courts weren't helping him get the pace on his shots that he needs for his defensive game to be effective or good at all. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit more interesting than that. I don't think this will be as big of a blowout. And Medvedev's been serving great. He had a lot of winners against Eubanks. He actually hit more aces than Eubanks did, so he'll have that also, which he didn't really have it in Indian Wells. But yeah, let's see what happens. But it should be a fun match. Both these guys are entertaining players. So entertaining players in this one. But let's see what we have in here. Who do we have? Got ZamZK, Vamos Carlos. Okay. Carlos is the favorite going in. Yeah, don't forget to like and sub. If you're new, don't forget to like the video, sub as well. Hey, what's up? We got Lexi in the chat as well. What's up? We got Matthew. If Sinner was struggling that much back the court, I fear for Medvedev. His whole game is running deep behind the baseline. That was a depressing watch for me as a Sinner fan. We're here to work through our traumas and work through our struggles as Sinner fans. And that was a struggle. Sinner had chances in the first set. He had 2 set points in the third set. He couldn't get a forehand in the court. Djokovic's depth is just crazy. Djokovic clutches it out, even with a strange hindrance call, even with the crowd, whatever. He was going at the crowd a bit, which was entertaining. But yeah, I mean, that was depressing. Listen, before the tournament started, I had a Sinner contender profile, and I said that Sinner would reach the semifinals and lose to Djokovic in a tight straight sets match. Mic drop. I got it right. We got Ashley in the chat. Hey, what's up? I was surprised I said that too before. I don't know. I don't know how I guess it's obvious in hindsight because playing Djokovic is always going to be tough, and Sinner had a good draw. So, I mean, that's what I thought before. But anyway, this could either be a very close match or a total rout. Yeah, it could be straight sets. I'm not expecting it to be as one-sided as Indian Wells, though. I think Medvedev will do a much better on serve. He won. Let's not just talk about the Eubanks match. The Eubanks match was a very different match from the one that he'll see today against Alcaraz, although Alcaraz may serve and volley as well. If he does, Medvedev will be used to it. He'll be ready. But Medvedev served 28 aces in his last match, which is actually 11 more than Christopher Eubanks. And why is that impressive? It's impressive because Christopher Eubanks was playing and serving out of his mind. He also hit 52 winners to 13 errors. And they're still practicing, by the way. But just before we start off, just to give you my kind of how I'm looking at this match, because there's a lot of, I like this matchup because there's a lot of different takes. We saw Indian Wells. Why was everybody excited to see this in an Indian Wells final? It's because both these guys are very creative, like point in, point out. They're very creative, point in, point out, but they play very differently. Alcaraz steps in inside the court. Medvedev plays from way back. But listen, the slow courts of Indian Wells aren't going to do Medvedev's game any justice. It's not going to. He has a defensive game, but he needs the pace on his shots. He needs to serve well. He's been serving well so far. He had 50, and he's been hitting a lot of winners. 52 winners, 13 unforced against Eubanks. And he did very well against Lehechka too. 97% of first serve points against Lehechka. 17 winners, 12 errors in that match as well. So both of these guys are playing super well. Both these guys have won at least 85% of their matches this year. They're still serving. Here we go. But we're about to start up. We're starting up here. We are starting up here. Hey, what's up, Max? And Actually, I'm disappointed for Sinner. Didn't even win a set. I was very disappointed because he had so many chances, but honestly, it was exactly what I expected. Just about. Alcaraz was the first point in his serve off. Let me get the score up here. Score up here. Yeah, here we go. 15 love for Carlos as we start up here. Yeah, I was sad for Yannick as well, but I didn't. I wasn't on the train. I thought he would lose in 3 sets, at most 4 sets. I didn't think. I don't think. I'm not. I still have as much faith in Sinner as I've ever had. I think he'll come back and win this title, but I don't think. I didn't think that was happening now. I'm still giving him time. I'm giving him time. It's a kick serve to the backhand of Medvedev, forehand from Carlos into the forehand of Medvedev cross, forehand from Carlos cross, forehand of Medvedev down the line is wide. But it was disappointing. It was disappointing. It was depressing. I hated it. I did. It was not. It wasn't. It was not a fun match for me to watch. 30 love here for Alcaraz. Let's see what happens. Alcaraz has been serving great all event. He's been serving great all event. And the way he's moving to his forehand, positioning himself, the return of serve as well. I mean, he's really unlocked the grass courts in a fantastic way. Forehand down the line, very good from Alcaraz just in these first 3 points. Very good from Carlos so far. Hello, Anthony. Hello, everyone. What's up, Sam? What's up, Sam? Join in, join in. Join in, join in. I think we're gonna have fun dynamic points no matter what. I don't think this is gonna be as big of a route as Indian Wells. I think this could be an interesting matchup on a quick court. I'm not sure that quick court is grass. Medvedev wants that to be grass court, but I think it could be fun. It's 1-0 for Carlos, by the way. 1-0 for Carlos. These two have played at Wimbledon 2 years ago, but listen, that match was like a nothing match because it was Carlos's first event on grass courts, and also he had just turned 18 years old. Medvedev won in straight sets, though, so I guess it's something, but you don't want to put too much weight into that match. But yeah, I hope this goes 5 sets. We got to see a 5-setter. Sinner Djokovic went 3. We got to go 5 sets with this one. They're shown, by the way, in a round the net shot that Alcaraz hit versus Berrettini in their match in the round 16. What's up, guys? What's up? Join in, join in. We got a fun one here. Alcaraz Medvedev. I'm not expecting this to be as one-sided as Indian Wells, and I'm not expecting it to be even close. I'm expecting we could go at least 4 sets. I'm expecting 4 sets. I'm expecting Alcaraz in 4 sets. That's my prediction. I do think that Medvedev is going to serve great. I think that's going to be trouble for Alcaraz, who did face a lot of break points against Berrettini and among other issues. So never know. It's a backhand to the backhand of Carlos down the middle, and it's out. Alcaraz might just do the same thing he did in Indian Wells, which is just play super conservatively and make Medvedev have to hit the winners. He's not going to play into Medvedev's game. Listen, the aggression of Alcaraz, if he's just going all for it and making errors, making winners, Medvedev is a wall. He's not going to play into that. He's going to make Medvedev have to be the one to dictate and hit the shots. Forehand inside out to the backhand of Medvedev, backhand volley. That's close to a banana shot passing shot from Carlos, but we're at 30 love for Daniil. We are at 30 love for Daniil. 1-0 Alcaraz, 30 love for Medvedev. 30 love for Medvedev in this one. But yeah, Anthony Hershey on the commentary, quality shot tennis. I had a big stream yesterday, hoping for some more, hoping for a big stream here as well, and for tomorrow's women's match. But yeah, it was a crazy stream yesterday with Sabalenka taking on Jabeur, no doubt about it. But let's make the women's final even bigger. Let's make this one massive as well. Let's make this one massive as well, and the men's final on Sunday as well. Men's final on Sunday. Faison will be on the call for you with that one. Medi possibly learned a thing or two when playing with Carlos after losing Indian Wells. Yes. And there's something that Medvedev said that I liked after Indian Wells. He said, I'm not changing anything. Like, I'm going to speak with my team, but I don't think we're changing anything. And I actually like that he said that. And the reason I like that he said that is because he also said, I'd like to see this on a faster court. When I didn't just play 19 matches in a row, 4 weeks in a row, and I'm super tired and I had an off day on the slowest conditions imaginable that really play into Alcaraz's game. Let's see it on an indoor court. Let's see it at the U.S. Open. Let's see it on a faster court. That's when Medvedev can do well. Listen, we're on a faster court now. We'll see what the grass courts do because grass courts aren't like hard courts, but they're on a faster court now. We're at 1 game all. But listen, we're gonna see some of the craziest points of the whole tournament in this match. So if you want to see that, then stick around. If you want to see that, then stick around. We're hoping for a good match as well in general. But we're going to see some crazy points. on the grass courts with games as dynamic as this, are you kidding me? We're going to see some crazy points. I have no doubt. One game all, Alcaraz serving to the forehand of Medvedev into the net. We're at 15 love for Carlos. 15 love for Carlos. Hey, 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 Sinner. Oh, I'm let's see. Don't even say Sinner's name. I've had enough with Sinner. I'm dropping Sinner. I'm now a let's see. Who am I a fan of now? I'm a Berrettini fan. I've moved on to the next highest ranked Italian. Guys, I'm a Matteo Berrettini fan now. I have dropped Yannick Sinner. Yannick Sinner fan for life. He's gonna win multiple majors. We're at 15 all, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. I still believe in Sinner. I don't think he'll win as many as Carlos, but I do like Sinner. I do like Sinner, and I am high on him. It's 15 all. It is 15 all. Serve out wide to the forehand. Medvedev is 30 feet behind the baseline. By the way, I thought I saw Tsitsipas in the crowd. There's no way Tsitsipas is ever going to be in the crowd for a Medvedev match. But Medvedev was like 50 feet behind the baseline, pulled way out wide, and he just completely whiffs on a return. On a forehand return. We're at 30-15. Medvedev is going to keep his return positioning. He said it, and he meant it. He said it, and he meant it. Kick serve into the backhand of Medvedev, forehand from Alcaraz. Inside in. That's not in, though. We're at 30 all. Good return from Medvedev. Good return from Medvedev. Listen, Medvedev is one of the best returners on tour, and something that was really going to help Medvedev out is really the pace that he can get on a grass court. I mean, it sounds strange to say because he doesn't have as aggressive a game as Carlos, but it's true. The reason that Medvedev's games works is because he can hit effective and hard shots from deep in the court. And you just can't do that on the slow conditions of Indian Wells. Also, he's going to serve way better here. A lot of stuff to watch that might be different from Indian Wells. I really think people are going too quickly to Alcaraz is a horrible matchup for Medvedev. I don't think he's a good one, but I don't think every match they play is going to be a blowout like that. Go away, Sinner. Yeah. Go away, Sinner. The Novak Gucci match was boring. It was just depressing because Sinner had so many chances. He didn't take any of them. Didn't take any of them. I'm in recovery. I'm in recovery, so I'm distracting myself with this match. That's what's going on here. 40-30 for Carlos. It's a slice to the forehand of Carlos down the middle, inside in from Medvedev, forehand from Medvedev into the backhand of Carlos, backhand from Daniil into the forehand of Carlos, inside out, backhand from Daniil into the forehand of Carlos. Medvedev pulled way up high. That's a great forehand cross court. Listen, Medvedev's come to play because he hit almost no winners in that match in Indian Wells. Listen, he hit in his match against Eubanks, I said it, he hit 52 winners, 13 errors. So it's wild. It's wild. It's wild. How low will you go on the Italian list? I'm dropping down to support Sonego. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I can pull another one out of my hat. Zapiri. I'll go with Zapiri. Young Italian player who I like. Sean, Sonego's a good one. Sonego's dangerous. He's been good this season. We're out one game all and deuce. This is good. Listen, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. Let's go. Face on in the chat. Let's go. It's gonna be a good one here. One game all deuce. Kick serve into the forehand of Medvedev. Into the backhand of Carlos. Hits the tape but goes over. Awkward shot there from Daniil. Can't quite pick it up off the ground. Awkward shot. Hey, what's up, Ben? Glad to have you in chat. Tsitsipas is there. It's to try to figure out how to return Alcaraz's drop shot for once. That's true. Good point. Yeah, he has his eyes on Tsitsipas, I think. Yeah. It was that Barcelona match where Tsitsipas literally can return like 100 drop shots. Forehand from Carlos into the forehand of Daniil. Down the line to the backhand slice of Carlos. Backhand Daniil hits the tape, goes over. Daniil apologizes. It's all luck. But he'll take it. It's deuce. Medvedev already with the chance in Alcaraz's service game. This is good for Medvedev because guess what? He's going to serve better than in Indian Wells. If he can get a break, he can hold on to it because he has the serve. He has the serve. We're at deuce. Backhand down the line from Medvedev, but it's wide. Listen, Medvedev's gonna have to make those returns. He's gonna have to make those returns against Daniil. There's no doubt about it. He's gonna have to make those returns. Imagine Medi taking the break point so early. That would be crazy, Max, and that would be wild. That would be wild. Advantage for Carlos. First serve is long. Second serve. Second serve coming in this one. Backhand from Daniil is long. We're at 2-1. We are at 2-1. Ben, be nice to Stefanos. Yeah. Lexi is Stefanos is her favorite. Stefanos is Lexi's favorite. There's nobody close. I feel bad for Anthony more than center. I feel I can relate when he support losers. I've chosen this life. I've chosen this life. I know what I signed up for. I know what I signed up for, but yeah, Lexi, me too with Anthony. Yeah. This is my recovery stream. It's my recovery stream. I will support Alki again to win this match in 5. Okay, I'm hoping for 5 sets. It's a good sign for Med having to work to hold a serve so early. Absolutely. Medvedev is doing way better on return than he did in Indian Wells already. Listen, for Medvedev, I already said it, I think, but for him to be as good on return, he really needs to make his shots deep in the court and he has to hit them hard. In Indian Wells, that's much tougher to do than at Wimbledon. So he'll have standing way back. He'll have a lot of time to work with to really get a lot of pace on his returns. Anthony, correction, XVFF. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot, Lexi. I forgot. I like the song "A Thousand Miles" by Vanessa Carlston. We should make Anthony sing that song. The only way I would ever sing that song is if Sinner beat Djokovic. That like something crazy would have to happen to make that even a possibility. If Sinner wins Wimbledon next year and beats Djokovic on the way, then I'll sing that. I'll sing that as soon as he falls on the ground and has his little celebration. I'll sing that song for you. That's the only way that I think that's ever happening. We're at 2-1 for Carlos. 2-1 for Carlos here. All right. We're already seeing some good points. Listen, Medvedev did he have a break point that last game? He was very close in it. I believe he had a break point in that last game. So few deuces. Good signs for Medvedev early on. I don't think this is going to be like Indian Wells. We're seeing a few matches to really feel out this rivalry early on. The best gauge might be somewhere like the US Open. This match would be great over there or on an indoor court, something like that. Backhand from Daniil, cross court, backhand pass from Carlitos. That's a strong backhand pass. He's right there waiting. He's waiting and ready. Is Carlitos. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining in. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, sub to the channel as well. Yeah, thank you for everybody who joined in also to the stream yesterday. Jabor versus Sabalenka. That one was, I mean, that match was just insane. The stream went crazy too. That was a great stream. Fun stream. Forehand inside in from Medvedev. That's too good. 15 all. We're at 15 all. Yeah, who we got here? We got Max N in chat. We got S-Sake1. We got Lexi. We got Faizan. We got Ben. We got Sam. We got Matthew as well. Matthew DeSouza. Lexi. We got everybody in here. Good to see. Good to see. So return long, by the way, from Alcaraz. We're at 30-15 for Medvedev. 30-15 for Medvedev. Like I said, Medvedev did not play a normal match in his last one. He was playing Christopher Eubanks, playing out of his head and playing just awesome tennis. He in the match before that, he played Yuri Lehechka, which you could compare like that. That's a pretty good match to look at. Medvedev played very well in that match. He hit 17 winners, 12 errors, and he won 97% of first serves. 97% of first serve points won throughout that match. That's a ridiculous stat. So, and he hit more aces than Eubanks did in his last match. He's playing good aggressive tennis on the grass courts. Slice into the backhand. Medvedev, that's a wonderful pass cross court. It's 40-15. Medvedev's come to play already. Medvedev has come to play already. 40-15 here for Medi. That's a great pass. Just great wrist control and just racket skills to be able to carve it like that. Backhand cross. Medvedev nearly hits an impossible angle. Listen, I think these two, to me, these are like two of the most talented players on the tour. They can really hit amazing shots from the most difficult positions. Both of these guys, but Alcaraz like stepping into the court more and playing aggressive. Medvedev likes staying back. So grass courts do suit Alcaraz a little bit more. But listen, faster courts. Medvedev likes faster courts, and he's playing. Both these guys are playing as well on grass as we've seen in a while. But that's good for Daniil that he's playing this well on the grass courts as well. Forehand from Daniil down the line. He goes for it. It's a clean winner. We're at 2 games all. Listen, if Medvedev and Novak play, that will be their third major final. That'll be their third major final. They played 2021 Australia. Medvedev beat him in 3 straight sets. And then they played the famous 2021 US Open final, and Medvedev won in 3 straight sets. So it was reverse scores. Outside of the big 4, the only other 2 guys that Djokovic has played, or that's not even right. I think he'd be the first guy outside of the big 4 that Djokovic has played 3 times. He's played Wawrinka in 2 major finals, I believe. He's played Tsitsipas in 2 major finals. I think everybody else, I believe I think it's only the big 4 who he's played 3 times. So Medvedev would be the first guy. So backhand from Medvedev into the backhand of Carlos, backhand of Daniil, cross into the backhand of Carlos, backhand of Daniil, cross. Medvedev is in these rallies. Listen, this is not going to be like Indian Wells, not completely. Forehand from Carlos is a shank. Medvedev, love 15. Medvedev at love 15. Hey, what's up? We got Matt in the chat as well. I'm back, just coming back from lunch. I think this is going to be a much better match than the first one. I think so too. I expected it going in as well. Listen, whenever people were asking me, like, is Sinner going to be Joker? I mean, I'm like the honorary Sinner fan, right? People are asking me, is Sinner? I guess I'm hoping that I am, but people are asking me, is Sinner going to be Djokovic? What do you think of Sinner versus Djokovic? I was like, shh. Let's calm down. Maybe next year. I'm not like, I was hoping for it with all my heart, but I was like, please. Sinner made it to his first major semi. Djokovic is Djokovic. Let's chill out. I was not expecting that to be particularly close, but Sinner still had his chances. Sinner will have his time. He'll have his time. But I lost my train of thought. Totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, but I think this match is going to be better, and I expected it coming into today. Great return way from down deep from Medvedev. That's a better return than he ever had at Indian Wells. Such a drop shot of Carlitos, though. That's a Medvedev Alcaraz point. That's a Medvedev Alcaraz point because Medvedev was standing way deep behind the baseline, and he went back to neutral. He got a deep return in down the middle, but he was too much on the defense. Alcaraz did well to set up that point. He put Alcaraz on the defense, running side to side. Medvedev should have moved forward a little bit if he can, especially on grass, where drop shots are so effective, by the way. It's a serve from Carlos. If Carlos can figure out the serve, listen, his game is like perfect for grass. He has a first strike tennis game, and he's so good with the drop shots, the slice, the touch. I mean, backhand from Medvedev into the backhand of Carlos, backhand Medvedev, down the line to the forehand chip of Carlos, forehand Medvedev into the forehand of Carlos, cross into the forehand of Medvedev, forehand of Carlos inside out. He's hitting that forehand huge. It's back to the forehand of Carlos from the outside, though. He goes absolutely massive, but it's wide. We're at 30 all. We're at 30 all in this one. He goes absolutely massive, but it is wide. I think he got the better match to call today. Yeah, I would have been just sad in the center one. But yeah, Faison did a great job over there with that one. I joined in for a little bit too, for sure. Check out some of that. But yeah, I'm excited to be calling this one for sure. We're hoping for a good one. I think this is going to be the better match. I think this will be the better match. 30 all here, Carlos serving. Medvedev forehand. It's another drop shot. Medvedev, the double bounce. That's a good point. Good play from Alcaraz. And listen, if you don't like all the drop shot play from Alcaraz, then you're gonna have to figure out a counter to it because you can't be like, oh, the drop shots are stupid, and then be like, well, he's beating everybody with them. So you gotta figure out a counter. He's winning with the drop shot so far. That's one of the reasons that Medvedev is a tough matchup for Alcaraz. Medvedev will have to find a way to move in and be effective moving in. It's a drop volley from Carlos. That's too good. 3-2. Listen, Alcaraz's drop shot wasn't very good against Rune. It really wasn't. His drop volley, his drop shots, like he wasn't doing very well on those shots. Good drop volley there, but he didn't have a great win percentage on those shots against Rune. But against Medvedev, it's going to be much better than against Rune, who has such quick movement running forward. Runa is amazing with his movement moving forward, like phenomenal. What do you think Medvedev's strategy would be specifically for this match? Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Straight up. Nothing else. Be aggressive. Medvedev needs to be aggressive. He needs to cut off Alcaraz's aggression. I don't think the strategy for Alcaraz is exactly the same. I think it'll be, you know, I think it'll be like he might still play a little bit conservatively, but I think Medvedev has to be aggressive. He has to be aggressive off return, hit deep. He has to play his game and set up shots as well. But he'll want to be aggressive, shot in, shot out, and play deep to stop Alcaraz's aggression. Alcaraz's strategy really depends a lot on Medvedev, I feel like. It's hard to say what Alcaraz should do. Medvedev is still standing far back. I think Alcaraz setting up the shots aggressively, then hitting drop shots is a good play. I think him coming to net to cut off Medvedev's time is a good play, but I still think he can play pretty conservatively. Just, controlled aggression, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy for Carlos, but I think Medvedev absolutely has to be super aggressive. Super aggressive. Lexi actually just turned in to provide mental support, moral support to Anthony. Lexi with being nice in the chat. Okay, Lexi. I need your help bad, Lexi. I need your help bad. um, recovering from that center match. All right, it's 3-2 for Alcaraz. 3-2 for Alcaraz. I just found a channel on YouTube which is playing this match in mirrored version to prevent copyright. LOL. Interesting. Oh, what a flick from Carlos. That's the speed of Carlos Alcaraz. Both of these guys are fast. Listen, Medvedev is the fastest 6'6" man on the planet. I'm not just talking about tennis. It's literally impossible how fast he moves with his game. Like, we've never seen this before in tennis. He's the tallest world number one. He has a defensive game, and yet he's 6'6". Like, he's a, what do you call it? A unicorn. Like, he's so weird. Medvedev is so weird. We're going to see some weird points in this match. I'm liking this already. This is what I hope for from the Indian Wells match. Come on, guys. Let's bring in. Let's go 5 sets. Backhand from Daniil into the backhand of Carlos. Let's hope Medvedev has the legs for it, too. It's a slice off the drop shot. That's a good shot. Lob over Daniil. Backhand smash. Nearly gets it in, but Daniil a little bit weird with his positioning. He should have a little bit anticipated that lob as well, but it's 15 all. 15 all. But yeah, don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel as well. Quality Shot Tennis. We just hit 6K subscribers. The next goal is 10K. We're going for 10K. Next goal is 10K. We're not going to get with this match, but we're going for 10K. We're going for 10K. We're going big. Quality Shot Tennis, where you want to be. Maybe next one could be like 7.5K, but listen, big goal, 10K. That's it for Quality Shot Tennis. Forehand from Daniil into the forehand of Carlos, chipped into the forehand of Daniil, cross the forehand of Carlos, the backhand of Daniil, backhand slice of Carlos to the backhand of Daniil, backhand from Carlos, line to the forehand of Daniil, forehand line from Carlos. Too good. And Medvedev with a chance in the Alcaraz with a chance in the Medvedev service game. Alcaraz with a chance in this Medvedev service game, 15-30. Let's see what happens next. That was a solid slice from Daniil. Oh, they're showing that first point, yeah. That was a replay of the first point of this game, but okay. 15-30 here for Carlitos. Serve down the line to the forehand of Carlos. Forehand inside out to the backhand. Slice of Medvedev. Ball falls out of... Yeah, there's a let. A ball falls out of Medvedev's pocket. Accident from Medvedev. Ball falls out. If you do that twice, I believe, then it's a point penalty. But ball falls out of Medvedev's pocket. Certainly not on purpose. It happens. 15-30. Medvedev was quick to apologize. Not on purpose. 15-30. Another point coming here. Both these guys are on very good terms, by the way. These guys are on very good terms with each other. Backhand from Medvedev into the forehand of Carlos, forehand of Daniil to the backhand slice of Carlos, cross to the backhand of Daniil, cross, backhand is a one-hander from Carlitos, backhand cross, that's a good shot behind Carlos. So forehand from Daniil, cross court, Medvedev slaps for a cross court, that would have been a Carlos Alcaraz shot, but it's in the net. 30 all. 30 all. It's already better than Indian Wells, I feel like. I feel like it's already turning out to be a pretty good match, so I'm excited about this one. I'm excited about this one. Backhand from Carlos into the backhand of Daniil. Backhand from Carlos, cross. That catches the sideline just. It's a challenge from Daniil. It was close. This isn't a bad challenge because I'm sure it was close. Daniil doesn't challenge for nothing. He's right on that sideline. Let's see what it is. I have a feeling it might be out. Daniil looked confident, and it is out. It's out by now. That's a bad call. That's a bad call. Daniil was right on that line, like on top of it, but that's a bad call. The umpire, the line judge should have been on it because that wasn't a millimeter out. That was like an inch out. Daniil frustrated as well. But we're at 40-30 anyway. 40-30. Bring on the automated line calling. It's a big serve down the line, though. We're at 3 games all. We're at 3 games all on this one. 3 games all for Carlos and Medi. Listen, this is already a better match. I expected a better match, and we got one. We got one. Listen, why are we seeing this closer than Indian Wells? We're on a faster court, and Medvedev hasn't played 4 weeks in a row. That's why. That's why. Daniil's not one to make excuses, but he was dead tired in that final. He was dead tired in that final. He played like a 3-hour and 15 match against Zverev. Listen, he's a big guy. He played 4 weeks in a row. He won 19 matches in a row. Listen, this is just a different match. This is what I want to see from their rivalry. Dynamic points, creative points. These guys are both geniuses on the court. It's a lot 15. These guys are mad geniuses. They play some crazy points, but they've both been to world number 1. These are the 2 guys that have really taken the mantle since that. These are the 2 guys that have stepped up since the Big Four era. Outside of those guys, they've gone to world number 1. They've really stepped up, and these guys can play at a very high level at their best. Both these guys at 85% plus going into this match for the season. It's a good squash shot off the return from Medvedev, who's standing so far behind the baseline. They showed the camera angle was like it was like behind Medvedev. We're at 15 all for Carlos. 15 all for Carlos on a serve. I'm watching on ESPN with the volume low and have Anthony on. I'm also covering this one for my blog. Okay, nice. Yeah, nice, Matt. Yeah, keep it up with that blog. It's awesome. But yeah, any way you watch is awesome. That's a great way to watch too. It's a good way to watch too. First serve into the net. Second serve coming from Carlos. Second serve coming from Carlos. These are the fun points I want to see, though, from this rivalry. Forehand from Carlos into the backhand of Medvedev. Backhand from Carlos into the backhand of Medvedev. Backhand from Carlos down the line to the forehand of Daniil. Forehand from Carlos inside out to the backhand of Daniil. Great rallies. Forehand of Daniil. This is a high level semifinal. This is exactly what you want to see. We're at 30-15. I couldn't have asked for better. In fact, this is above what these are exceeding my possible expectations so far, which I'm very happy about. This is exceeding what I even put up as like, this is what I want. Like, this is what I want at best. This is exceeding that. So, what I thought was realistically what we could get to start off here. This is great stuff from Medvedev, really testing out Carlos Alcaraz. Forehand from Medvedev off the return to the backhand slice down the line from Alcaraz. Pass from Medvedev, but Alcaraz on top of it, 40-15. Already, first 7 games of this match are some of the most fun shot making I've seen in this event. Hopefully, this carries on throughout the whole match. Good semifinal so far. It's a good semifinal so far. Anthony here commentating QualityShot tennis. Hopefully, we see an epic. Hopefully, we see an epic. Giving my live reaction. Hopefully, can give some insights as well. This is a weird match. I think some insights would help for myself as well, to see what we're going to see in this one. Because listen, both these guys can play super, super weird games, but they're effective. They are effective. Serve for Carlitos coming here at 40-15. Down the line to the backhand of Daniil. Backhand slice. Pulls Daniil in, and that's a bad backhand from Daniil. Really the first bad shot that either of them have hit. Like, I'm not even kidding. That was like the first bad shot that either of them have hit. I don't think Daniil was expecting Medvedev to pull him into the net. And Alcaraz asked the question. Daniil did not have the answer. Daniil didn't have the answer. I'm excited for this one. KT Logos, $100 on Carlos. Okay. Let's see what happens, KT Logos. That's huge. That's a huge bet. See what happens. Hoping you get your bet. 4-3. 4-3 for Carlitos. 4-3 for Carlitos. We're 30 minutes into this one. Sinner Novak. Listen, Sinner just wasn't effective enough on the shots. He was not doing well off forehand. He had a ton of chances. All 3 sets were close, but he just couldn't take it. And That was a tough match for Sinner. He couldn't take his chances as well as he would have wanted. All right, cool, cool, cool. Cool, guys. We're on this one. Alcaraz versus Medvedev. We're having a good time. Having a great time. Medvedev backhand. Oh, they're showing a replay of the last game. That's fine too. That's fine too. Yeah, 4-3 for Carlitos. But Medvedev's already playing better than he did in the Indian Wells match. So already playing better. And that's good to see. That's what we would have wanted. Listen, he went 5 sets with Christopher Eubanks. We didn't know how he'd look in this one. We didn't know if he'd be tired, if he'd be this, he'd be that. This is the first Wimbledon semifinal for Medvedev. It's the first semifinal Medvedev has reached since the Australian Open final, in fact, last year. Comes on the grass courts. It's long from Medvedev, by the way, on the deuce side, just long. Alcaraz hits a shot way into the crowd, way up high into the crowd. Off of that shot from Daniil, somebody in the crowd catches it. We're at love 15. We're at love 15. Love 15. Serve down the line to the forehand of Carlos on the return. Forehand. That's a great shot. Cross court. Great sign for Medvedev to be able to hit a shot like that. Great shot for Medvedev. And I say that just because it's a casual Medvedev shot. That's a shot that Medvedev should be hitting. The fact that he's hitting it on grass courts in the semifinals against Carlos Alcaraz, Medvedev has come to play. Medvedev's come to play. We're at 3-4, 15 all. I've been waiting for a good Alcaraz Medvedev match. I really have for a long time. It's an ace down the line. Listen, I'm super online. If you want to know about me, I'm a huge internet nerd. I'm very online. I have a Reddit account for the tennis sub on there. For a long time, my name on that sub was waiting for an Alcaraz versus Medvedev match. They hadn't played one for a couple of years since Wimbledon in 2021. But when Alcaraz had just turned 18, that was Alcaraz's first grass event. They hadn't really played a match. I was so compelled by what this rivalry will look like. I was so disappointed by that match that they played in Indian Wells. And I'm just super excited that we're seeing a good one here. But yeah, basically, I've been waiting for a good match between these two. I guess that was like my profile name or whatever, waiting for just waiting on Alcaraz versus Medvedev. And I'm just excited that we're seeing this. I'm excited that we're seeing this now because I'm waiting for a good one. Listen, defense versus offense, both super creative, just crazy geniuses with how they play tennis, but very contrasting styles of play. And now we're seeing it on a fast court. We're seeing it on a fast court. It's a break point for Carlos, by the way, here, though, and it's a backhand return down the line. And Carlos gets the 5-3. It's a 5-3 for Carlos. In my opinion, whenever you use Reddit, you get lost. There's so many subreddits. The layout's not the best. I basically only use the tennis subreddit out there. Spade Wizard. I'm Spade Wizard on there. If anybody else is on there. Alcaraz using the drop shot. Not so far, but he used it a few times. I think he's won every single point he's used it on. It's a good play to pull Medvedev in. I think that's a great play for him on the grass courts using the drop shots. He should use them more. But it's 5-3 for Carlos to serve, and it's kind of unfortunate because up until that game, Medvedev was serving fantastic, and he's been playing really, really well. But it just shows the level Alcaraz is bringing on the grass courts now. Medvedev will really have to prove something. First serve is a let. It's called in. Medvedev challenges it. If it's out, then it's a second serve. It is out. That's a bad. I mean, these are a few bad calls so far. Bad calls so far from the ump should be right on top of it. Anyway, second serve coming here. Second serve coming. Kick serve into the backhand of Daniil, who can't get out of the way of it. That's a good body serve from Carlos. I like how much Carlos uses the body serve. He's been using that body serve on grass all day. Listen, I get excited when I see people going hard down the middle, going hard to the body. That's my bread and butter. That's a great switch up, especially on grass courts, because they don't have time to get out of the way of the ball. That's a great play on grass courts. Also, you take away their angles. Grass court is a lot about first strike tennis. You take away their angles. Body serve on grass court. That's a great play. And Alcaraz has been using it since Queens. Not just at Wimbledon. He's been using it since his first match in Queens. Second serve to the backhand of Daniil, who hits along. Listen, until these last couple of games, Daniil was playing an amazing match, but I feel like at this point, Carlos is more confident than Daniil on the grass courts. We'll see if that makes a big difference. But yeah, it's 30 love here for 30 love here for Carlos. Kick serve into the back end of Danielle, who hits a long. We're at 40 love. We are at 40 love. 40 love in this one. Triple set point for Carlitos. Wow, Carlos just steals the set away from him. I feel like just 3 minutes ago, we didn't know who was taking the set whatsoever. Carlos at 3 set points. It's a serve down the line. That's too good. And Carlos just pulls away and is like, listen, Danielle, I know you started off playing well in this match, but listen, I'm not just the guy to beat on hard courts. You got to beat me on grass too. I saw a stat the other day, like Carlos in his first like 16 grass court matches has the highest win percentage of like anybody, or at least of like all the all-time greats, better than Federer as well. I mean, I didn't expect that, but I guess it kind of makes sense. He won Queens Club, which was only his third event. He got to the fourth round of Wimbledon last year. He's got to the second round. Now he's in the semifinals of Wimbledon. This is a quick start for a player who's played so well, super young. So listen, Alcaraz. You know what Alcaraz said? People were like debating: is he better on hard court or clay court? Alcaraz came up and said, "You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and win Wimbledon." Everybody's talking about hard and clay. I'm like, I want to win Wimbledon. Alcaraz learned from Rafa. Rafa in 2000, what was it? 2006 at the French Open, people were like, okay, well, he won 2 French Opens in a row. There's no way he'll ever win Wimbledon, though. And then he reaches the final. He only loses to the greatest grass courter we've ever seen. And I mean, that's the Nadal other. And then he beat that grass courter pretty much in his prime 3 years later, 2 years later. So, I mean, it's crazy. First set for Carlitos, though. I mean, it's wild. It's insane. Let's see what Carlitos can do. He has Djokovic in his route. I'm not saying he's gonna win. Um, but yeah, not a good start for many. I would disagree, Sam. I would disagree with you, Sam. I think that Medvedev has had a good start. I think he served well. He's played pretty much the game he's had to play. I think he tired out and got a little bit nervous or did this, did that, stopped doing so well on serve. At the end there, Alcaraz has been super solid on serve. Um, but on serve and on return in the last couple of games, Medvedev fell down a little bit, but I saw a lot of good signs from Medvedev in that set. I don't think it's a bad start. I don't think it's a bad start for Medi. This was always going to be tough. Like I said, Alcaraz is the big favorite in this match. He won Queens. He's on the grass court winning streak. Like, was it 10 matches? Medvedev is the favorite. Sorry, Alcaraz is the favorite, but Medvedev isn't going to hate his chances. Alcaraz is the favorite though. 6-3. We're about to start the second set. It's been some fun rallies though. These are the dynamic, kind of creative rallies I want to see from both players so far in this match. This is what I wanted to see. I'm glad we're getting it. Carlos taking on Daniil. I don't think this is gonna. I don't think this. After watching the first set, I really don't think this is gonna be a blowout. Like, by the way, they just showed the craziest stat. I'll tell you in a second, um, but Daniil, I don't think this is going to be a blowout like the Sinner Djokovic match. After the first set, I think this is going at least 4 sets. I don't see this going 3 sets. Let's see what happens though. I can always be wrong, but I've been to 3 pro events, 2 in Winston-Salem, an exhibition in Knoxville with Serena and Roddick. Ironically, Isner played all 3. Imagine sitting through that. But yeah, well, listen, I'm the only pro event that I've watched since I've been a huge tennis fan. That's gonna change. I'm gonna go to way more, but the only one I've been to is the Atlanta Open. That's pretty much the Isner Open. By the way, Medvedev goes behind Alcaraz. It's 15 love for Daniil. I see Daniil at least taking 1 set in this match. I think he started off well. I think Alcaraz is the more confident player on the grass courts right now, and I see Alcaraz winning this, but let's see what happens. 15 love for Daniil. 15 love for Daniil. Second serve in this one. Backhand from Daniil to the backhand of Carlos. Backhand, cross, the backhand slice of Carlos in the net. We're at 30 love. Medvedev wants a quick service game. Medvedev does not want, I don't have to say, it's kind of stupid when somebody says Medvedev doesn't want to go down 2-0, but he doesn't. He doesn't want to go. Carlos has never lost after being up 2-0, and that might like never change. Like Carlos knows how to keep a lead when he gets one. So far in his career. And I'll tell you a stat to back that up too, by the way. They just showed a stat. Carlos is 30-1 in matches after winning the first set. He's 30-1 in matches at majors after winning the first set. The only one that he's lost was 2021 Australian Open when he was 17.5 to Mikael Ymer. He's only lost one match at a major. Listen, I'll tell you why that's extra impressive. Djokovic has only lost 5 times. Or sorry, I think Djokovic has only lost 8 times. Nadal's only lost 5 times. I know that off the top of my head. One because I'm insane and I have tennis stats compartmentalized in my head. But another thing is that I just saw these stats. Medvedev Djokovic has lost 8 times from up a set in his whole major career. Nadal's lost 5 times, but almost all the times that Djokovic has lost were early in his career. This is early in Alcaraz's career. He could go his whole career only losing 1 match at a major after winning the first set. Listen, that's what separates amazing top 10, top 15 players from the best of the best, from the all-time goats. You know what separates them more than anything? They keep a lead. They keep a lead. I know it sounds weird. It's like, okay, well, they're up. Why is that difficult? Trust me. It's much harder. As somebody who plays tennis, it's much harder than it sounds to mentally not let up, to finish a match. Ask Yannick Sinner, my favorite player. It's hard to finish off a match. You got to have that killer instinct, and you have to have that inner push inside you to just want to keep on winning. And even from down up a set, not to let down. It's really hard, much harder said than done. It really, really is. But it's 15 love for Carlos. I can't tell you exactly why it's difficult, but it's so easy for just us as people to just like be like, okay, we're ahead and then let up. But to keep that intensity up, it's much harder. 15 love, especially against the highest level players who'll be looking to come right back, but you still keep your foot on the gas, even though you're not chasing anything. You're in the lead. That's tough. That's tough. 15 love here for Carlos. Separates the great players from the best. So far, Carlos is separating himself into the latter category. We're at 15 love for Carlos on his serve. Kick serve into the forehand of Daniil. Forehand drop shot. That's in the net, though. Carlos knew it right away. He literally hit that drop shot and then just turned his back. Carlos was like, I know my drop shots. That one was bad, okay? I'm just going to turn my back. Next point. Wait, Ons has already had 2 slams appearance. Yep, Lexi. Yeah. Wimbledon final last year and then the US Open final. She didn't show up like she would have wanted in either of those finals. Jabeur has admitted herself, I wasn't ready then. But listen, it's all of these players. Jabor's had a tough journey there, but now that she's figured it out, she's absolutely killer. All these players, they're on their own journey, and this has to be the time where Jabeur gets her first major. This has to be the time when Jabeur gets her first major. By the way, their fastest serve so far of the match, Medvedev 127 miles per hour, Carlos 126. Medvedev has hit the faster serve so far, which is also a pretty good side for Medvedev. He has to play aggressive. Forehand from Carlos is long, 30 all. 30 all. Medvedev keeps getting chances on the Carlos serve. If he can take one of them, that could be huge. How is Alcaraz looking? Alcaraz is looking good. Alcaraz is looking really, really good, really, really tough. He's doing what he needs to do. I'd like to see when when Alcaraz really, really gets tested by Medvedev, but so far he's looked great. I think Alcaraz has looked fantastic. I don't think that at this point, this level of Alcaraz that we've seen so far, I'd be more interested when he gets tested. I don't know if it's enough against Novak, but he is playing very well. He's playing very well. Carlos will have to pick up to just an insane level, a better level than he's ever played on grass courts if he wants to beat Novak. I don't think beating Novak's impossible. I think he has to fully believe in himself. I think he has to play loose. I think he just has to play his game. I think this tournament is far from the best that Novak has played. I think he's been super clutch. Um, but I still think he's just a level above. And he was still very good against center. So 30-40. He was very good against center. Constant depth, constant pressure. Constant pressure. I love how American pronunciation Jabor is so different from the UK version Jabor. Well, he love okay. Um, yeah, both players are playing well so far. We'll see if Medvedev can just take one of these Alcaraz service games. He keeps getting close. The backhand into the net, though, I feel like Medvedev not being clutch enough so far. And I don't. I mean, I see why he's not as confident on grass courts. Listen, there's a reason Medvedev always complains about court surfaces. It's not just a meme. Medvedev really has a struggle really playing on surfaces that aren't hard courts. And it's not just about adapting to them with his game, it's about wanting to play on them. He wishes it was hard courts. I don't blame him for a second. What a drop volley from Carlos. Carlos nearly hits the shot of the match. That shot was in the air for 10 seconds. The crowd was going, oh, and then the drop half volley goes into the net. We're at deuce. That was nearly some of the most amazing touch you'll ever see. And I'm not even hyperbolizing. That would have been incredible had he made it. That replay is insane. Carlos literally being like, I'm the one. Like, if he made that shot, like, that would have been crazy. We're at deuce though. We're at deuce for Carlos on his serve. Serve way out wide. Forehand from Medvedev. What a drop volley here, though. Half volley. Carlos doesn't get that one on the backhand. He gets that off the forehand. These are some weird points. I'm loving every second of it. Some weird points, though. Carlos serving at advantage. That was a crazy shot from Carlos after one that he missed in the previous one. Serve down the middle into the body. Drop shot from Carlos going to be too good. That drop shot is super effective so far. I don't think Carlos has been pushed like crazy, though. If Medvedev is going to want to win this match, he's going to have to push Carlos for real. He's going to be the guy he has to play ultra aggressive. He has to be making deep returns, really, really troubling Alcaraz on serve, point in, point out, being clutch. Medvedev is going to have to absolutely push Carlos. He couldn't even get into the ballpark of pushing Carlos in Indian Wells, but serving better, returning better, getting more pace and depth on his shots. At least Medvedev has a chance here, but he'll have to take more of the chances he's getting on the Carlos serve. And he's just going to have to stick with it and not lose his serve like he did at the end of the first set. He's going to have to stick with it and believe in himself, really, that he can do this on the grass courts against Carlos Alcaraz. He needs to believe that he can do this on the grass courts against Carlos Alcaraz. Serve out wide is a good serve from Medvedev. We're at 15 love. Listen, Medvedev is serving great so far. Medvedev's like Federer. He's just right back at the line. Medvedev serves quick. Serve down the line. Forehand from Carlos into forehand of Medvedev. That's not a great shot. Forehand inside in from Carlos. Forehand cross court from Medvedev. Medvedev not getting a lot of depth on these shots. That's a terrible sign. Slice from Carlos down the line. Backhand from Carlos into the backhand of Medi. Cross court. Backhand slice of Carlos down the line. Forehand from Carlos comes in down the line. Backhand lob from Medvedev. But that goes just long. Listen, I have a bad feeling about this match, though. Both guys are playing well, but I just feel like with Djokovic waiting in the final, I'm not seeing anything super special from either guy so far. I hope that changes as we go, but if either of these guys win and they want a chance against Novak, you just feel like they'll have to really pick up their level. I'm not seeing anything crazy special from either, but this is high level though, which I am happy about. I'm excited about that, but it's just bittersweet because it just feels like, will one of these guys be able to have a shot, get a scalp off Novak in that next match? And you just don't know if they will. You don't know. It's a backhand long, by the way, again from Medvedev. Medvedev might be tired. I mean, Medvedev played a 5-setter against Eubanks. He's played a few long matches. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I wish I had Rabakta's mental strength. Yeah, Rabakta's a champ. Rabakta's a champ. Jabeur too. I mean, Jabeur, in my opinion, has the best mentality on the women's tour. Not just because the match we saw the other day, but that definitely puts her up the rankings. But Jabeur has a crazy mentality. It's 15-40, by the way. Medvedev's served well, except for a couple service games where he's really just gotten himself into trouble. Trouble for Medvedev. That's it, Matt. Trouble for Medvedev. Come on. Got these 2 service points. We don't want to see this be a blowout like the other. I mean, I guess if you want Carlos to test Novak, that might not be so bad to play a quick one here, but we want to see an epic. I want to see an epic. Slice into the backhand of Medvedev. Backhand slice from Carlos. Is wide. That's a bad error from Carlos. That's a bad error from Carlos. He needs to make those shots. Um, well, okay, after this point, big point here. Backhand slice. Carlos, listen, neither of these guys have played that game though, where you're like, wow, these guys can really test out Novak. If we're even talking about the chances that these guys have against Novak, which we should be talking about, then I don't think playing a long 4 or 5 setter is that bad, especially for Carlos. I know he cramped up, he got nervous in the semi against Novak, but listen, he hasn't played a whole lot of super tight matches. He's played a few 4 setters, especially against Jari. That one was tight, but I think he'll be fine. I think especially if Carlos can pull this out in 4 or 5 sets, playing a tight match, he'll have to play one against Novak. What a get off the volley from Carlos. Carlos out the back and what a shot. Medvedev can get it. Can you believe it? Alcaraz gets a break point with 2 miracle volley saves. 2 miracle volley saves from the Spaniard. Crowd is clapping, and when you see Carlos, you see shots and points like you've never seen before. That's the creative points of Carlos Alcaraz. And that's the shots first on the stretch, pulled out way to the do side. Then off the backhand, the amazing hands. He's just a brick wall there. Strong hands. Suddenly, we got a break point for Carlos. We got a break point for Carlitos Alcaraz. But yeah, it's not going to be like a Medvedev win in the final in the U.S. Open. These guys are going to have to play tight match. And it's Carlos with a big backhand down line. Carlos is starting to get fire, though. Carlos is starting to pick up fire. Maybe it is the best thing. Maybe it is the best thing. Vondrousova won a slam already. No. Vondrousova reached the final of French Open 4 years ago. She also reached the final of the Olympics 2 years ago. She's really reaching a big final every couple of years. I don't like her chances in the final against Ons Jabeur, but so I think in 2025 she's like, okay, can I finally win one of these? Every 2 years she's reaching a big final. But yeah. Bencic won the Olympics like gold. Yes, she did. Yeah. Bencic won the Olympics. Bencic won the Olympics of 2021. I don't know. I'm always super high on Bencic, and I know the results don't really back me up in a big way, but she just always looks so good every time she plays. Her game always looks so top tier. But we'll see. So far, the results haven't been there for her. But yeah, she got the Olympics in 2021. She got the Olympics in 2021. 2-1 for Carlos. We're seeing some great points, though. I said it at the start of the match. If you're here for amazing shot making and amazing rallies of the tournament, you want to be here for this match because there's no doubt in my mind we're seeing some. We saw one here. So it's a backhand volley and then a forehand way out. It's the winner from Medvedev. Alcaraz there anyway. It's another winner from Medvedev. Alcaraz gets both of those. Alki H, that's it. Crazy from Alki. Crazy from Alcaraz. Crazy from Alcaraz. Bencic is BB right. Can they choose another letter for their names? Geez, so hard to remember the WTA names. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Bianca Adrescu and Belinda Bencic. Yeah, there's too many similar. Well, look at the men's side. You have Rude, Runa, Rusevori. Who else? Rublev. It's insane. They got to change their last names for us. Forehand way deep on the out wide. That's a drop shot. Listen, this isn't working for Medvedev. We got to stop this right here. I got to have a little bit of an intervention with Daniil Medvedev because guess what? This is not working. I got to cut you off right here. Medvedev needs to switch up and stop playing so far deep after hitting the return. Off the return, Alcaraz isn't hitting a lot of serve +1 drop shots. He's really hitting it 2 or 3 points in. Medvedev needs to find a way to hit a play inside the court a little bit more and be effective doing it. Because Alcaraz is getting him with these drop shots. There's no way he can keep this up. Also, the net play of Alcaraz when Medvedev is standing so far deep. I mean, listen, this is not working for Medvedev. Medvedev is going to have to stand in closer and hit more aggressive if he even wants a shot. He has to play aggressive. He really does. I mean, for me, the strategy for Medvedev is play aggressive. Well, let's see what happens. But yeah, Carlos is loving every single thing that Medvedev is playing to him. His game is really just working right in line with Alcaraz's. It's a forehand, cross going to the forehand of Carlos, forehand. Down the line is a lob web high. That's a lob web high to the backhand side. That's long from Carlos. We're at 30-15. 30-15. Alki is out to stop Novak, do you think? Because I hope he can display the same intensity against Novak if he reaches the final. I hope so as well. Yeah, I hope so as well, Lexi. I want to see a good final in that one. Yes, I think so. I do think so. I think Alcaraz is fully set on the Djokovic final, and I think he will be there for the final. But I still think Alcaraz needs to pick up his level. I haven't seen anything crazy special so far. That's a great backhand return from Medvedev. That's a Medvedev return from way back as a passing shot past Medvedev. That's just my opinions. I mean, I like talking with the chat because we can have different opinions. I'm not seeing anything crazy special from Alcaraz. The point in, point out. Djokovic is just so effective and just so strong, so clutch that you really just have to play a top tier of tennis, a confident top tier of tennis, point in, point out. I'm not seeing that so far from Carlos. But listen, he can catch fire as matches go on. I think that he is out to stop Novak, but I don't think he's showed me anything so far that would make me think he has an amazing shot. But let's see what happens. I'm not counting him out. I really am not. But I'm just not seeing anything so far. So forehand cross is long from Medvedev. I do think Djokovic is the big favorite. I have Djokovic for sure, but we'll see. Alcaraz is going to try his best. But Djokovic going for a fifth Wimbledon title. He's going for what would it be? His 21st consecutive major match of the year, going for the calendar year Grand Slam. He's going for a lot of things as Novak. Anyway, 40-30 here for Carlos. 40-30 here for Carlos. Serve down the line, forehand from Medvedev, forehand now from Daniil into the backhand of Carlos. That's a good shot cross court. Backhand from Daniil into the backhand slice of Carlos, forehand down the line from Carlos, just a little bit too good. And Carlos hits it out. Or forehand inside in, I should say. It's too good from Carlos. We're at 3-1. 6-3, 3-1. It's too good from the Spaniard. Too good from the Spaniard. Let's see if Medvedev can do anything. This is looking like a straight setter now. It has the vibes of a straight setter. Carlos ready to serve. Carlos to return at 1-3. Carlos almost in a Wimbledon final, by the way. Who thought we'd be saying that at the start of the season? There would be a few people, but you know, it's he's really picked up his level on the grass. It's been great to see. Some people at the start of the year, especially when Sinner was winning all those tournaments, it was like, watch out Sinner at Wimbledon. He could reach the final this year. But it's Alcaraz who does it instead. Or he's looking like he's going to do it instead. Serve down the line is just wide from Daniil. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way. Anthony Hersher Compton, Quality Shot Tennis. If you're enjoying it, don't forget to sub as well. We'll be here for more. I'll be here for the women's final. If you saw that women's semi, Sabalenka Jabeur, we had a lot of fun there. On's going for her first major title. And Vendrosva really, like, she played crazy the other day. I think Jabeur is a huge favorite, but if you want to see some great shot making and some great high level play, I think you should tune in. That's Vondroussova's third big final, which is crazy. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But that should be a good final. Definitely tune in. One-hander backhand drops away short. That's a solid volley from Medvedev. 40 love. It's not like Medvedev's had no chances on the Carlos serve, but you just have to feel Carlos has throughout this event has only picked up on how well he served as the matches have gone on. That's been a pattern for him. And also he's just served so well all grass season. Well, let's see what happens. It's served down the line. It's long from Alcaraz on the return. We're at 3-2. 6-3 and 3-2. 6-3 and 3-2. If Alcaraz had won that Roland Garros semi, then I would probably give him a chance. But I think on grass, I don't see Djokovic losing, barring anything unforeseen. Perfectly fair. Perfectly fair. Hey, what's up? We got Ghost in chat too. Djokovic will be lifting 24 in a couple of days. It looks like it. It looks like it. No, neither of these guys have shown me the constant point in, point out play that really blows my mind and blows me out of the water. I think we're going to see 6-3-3-2. Both guys are doing well. Both guys are playing well, especially Carlos, who is the better player so far. He is the better player so far. We can look at some of the stats too, just to break it down a little bit. But yeah, Carlos is the better player so far. It's really looking like this is a rivalry that's really leaning towards Carlos now. This is a bad matchup for Medvedev, especially since he's not really switching up the deep returns. He's still returning deep, and that's just giving him no favors. It's both guys are doing well on first serve, not so good on second serve, which I guess makes enough sense. And then winners to errors, 13 winners, 7 errors, 12-10. They're both really about even statistically, but let's look at this clutch points. Medvedev's had only 1 break point, and he didn't take it. Alcaraz has had 4 break points, and he took both of them. So that kind of sums it up. More than anything else, that sums it up. Alcaraz has been the more clutch. Sampras winning 14 seems like a record from an older time where players actually declined when they got older. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Federer, shout out Federer, because he really showed what a player can do in so many aspects. Like he pushed the game forward in a big way by getting to 17 majors, then pushing himself to get to 20. And then still being around at 38 years old, beat Djokovic in straight sets at 38 years old at the ATP finals. I still think Federer had probably the most, like he had the best longevity I've seen so far, just in terms of a player sticking around. We'll see if Djokovic beats that. Djokovic probably has had the better one, just in terms of how well all the majors he's won at 30 plus years old. You would have to say Djokovic. But Federer's been around a long, long time. Hey, we got David in the chat as well. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Ghost, you've changed name. Hello. Yeah. Ghost of James Hunt. Yeah. Ghost was in here for another stream. I was like, wait, who is this? Yeah. We got Ghost in the chat. Sean in the chat as well. And Sean, everyone skipped the Aussie Open. That's it. It was a different time. It was a different time. Well, in the 90s, it was more the 80s where everybody kind of skipped the Australian Open. Starting like 1988, when the Australian Open started being played on hard courts, it was really around that time when you can be like, okay, from that point on, everything is the same. Everyone's playing all the majors. Everything, Australia's on hard, French Open's on clay, Wimbledon's on grass, US Open ends the season on hard courts. Since about the 90s, also we've had Masters events since the 90s. Around the 90s is when things have kind of stagnated and become very similar to today's game. But we still got to remember history. Listen, there have been some amazing players throughout history. We can never forget them. Whoever gifted me a membership, shout out to you. Yeah, shout out whoever gave who gave David a membership. David, obviously commentator on this channel as well. Hope you'll be back soon as well to commentate. Hope you'll be back for more. 6342. But glad for you to be joining in here. We got Sam, got Ashley, we got Lexi, Sean, Ghost. We got everybody in here. But 6342. Alcaraz is looking like he's gonna pull away with this one. So Alcaraz looking like he's gonna pull away with this one. Serve out wide to the forehand of Carlos. Jumping backhand from Daniil. That's a good shot. Alcaraz gets to it because, of course, he does. Smash is a miss from Daniil. Alcaraz gets an impossible get because, of course, he does. And Alcaraz at love 15. 2-4, love 15. Wow. By the way, both of these guys have won 2 Masters titles on the season as well. Both of these guys have had just absolutely phenomenal seasons. Absolutely phenomenal seasons from both guys. Very good season from both guys. See the record here. Alcaraz is 45-4 on the season. Medvedev is 46-8 on the season. Both absolutely phenomenal records. Forehand is long from Carlos. So 30-15 here for Daniil. 30-15 for Daniil. Serve out wide into the net. Backhand cross in the backhand on the stretch from Danielle, and we're at 30 all. Chance here for Carlos to break away. Listen, this has been, I mean, the first set was actually a great first set. I mean, Medvedev just didn't, played a bad service game. Carlos stepped up, did well on serve. Carlos wasn't good in that return game, not clutch, not confident on the grass, but we had some dynamic, creative rallies. That's what we wanted to see, but Carlos has really proven to be a bad matchup for Medvedev, especially since Medvedev isn't switching up his service position. Carlos hits another forehand wide, though. Listen, I still feel like neither of these guys is perfectly comfortable on grass court yet. Carlos is very good on grass. Medvedev is as well, but Carlos is very good on grass. But I still feel he's not moving as effectively as he needs to have a chance against Novak in the final, because he's not moving to these forehands and he's hitting to them wide. So I don't know. I don't know. It's almost bittersweet watching this because it's a good match, but um, you just feel like neither of these guys, I don't know what they'll have against Novak. But listen, there's a few things about Novak. There are a few things about Novak as well, which make you think there's some kind of chance, but you always think that, don't you? You always think that, don't you? Working and lurking, hit the likes. Yeah, hit the likes, guys. Thanks a lot, Cedric. Thanks for coming in. What's up? What's up? There's my fan, Cedric. That's it. Um, yeah, yeah. Everybody in the chat, good to see, good to see. We love Cam, what a hero. Yeah, it's awesome. Cam's the best. Cam's the best. David, it was Cam. Was it Cam who gifted a membership? I must have missed it if it was. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Cam, for gifting the memberships. Cam, you're a legend. Cam is an absolute legend. But yeah, 4-3 here for Carlos. Carlos looking to run away with this. I mean, one of the reasons I was excited for this matchup was like, why was everybody hyping up Carlos versus Medi? It's because both of these guys play super strange games. Both these guys got to world number one, the world in the era of the big three, big four, whatever. Big three, I guess. Since it's after 2016 or whatever. It's like both these guys got to world number one, and it's like they both play super creative shots, super weird shots from all different positions on the court. Medvedev more defensive, Alcaraz more offensive, but that offense from Carlos has really proven to really be a nail in the tires, or what would you say? Of Daniil Medvedev's game. It's really been a nail in the tires. Really, Medvedev hasn't gotten any kind of, I don't know. He hasn't been able to do much of anything against Carlos to hurt him. Hasn't been able to do much against Carlos at all. Since I'm new, I do have a question. Is this channel going to broadcast the U.S. Open Series summer tournaments, Atlanta, D.C., Canada, Cincinnati? Yeah, we'll be here for those as well. Yeah, we hope to be here for as much as possible. I believe so. We'll be here throughout the year. Yes. Yeah, we'll be here year round. Yes. We're here year round. Quality Shot Tennis. We got a great channel over here. This match is a little bit more one-sided. We got a couple one-sided semis, but look, if we want a great final, maybe that's exactly what we want. Maybe this like Giroffe would say in the chat, it's cooking a bit. It's cooking. We got a final in store. Alcaraz is saving up his energy for Djokovic. We'll see. Maybe he'll bring it against Medvedev, against Djokovic. He'll have to. He'll have to play even better than he is right now, and he's playing well. But let's see what happens. But it's Alcaraz at 6-3, 4-3, 40 love on his serve. Serve down the line. Medvedev gets it with the forehand, and it is wide. 5-3. We're at 5-3. We are at 5-3. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? How's it going? How's it going? So, who you guys got winning the Wimbledon now? Everybody was asking at the start of the event, but who you guys got winning? I feel like we'll see a lot of the same answers, but I feel like asking anyway, might as well. I'm going on Jabeur, and and I don't think I have to say who I think is going to win on the men's side because it seems fairly boring, but I'm going with the obvious. But if you have somebody else, let me know in the chat because I am interested to hear who you guys got winning the event. It's left 15. Left 15. Singles isn't that interesting at this point, to be honest. But let's see. Maybe the finals are going to show us something that you never know. Sometimes it's when things seem the most obvious, like something's going to happen, that something crazy happens. So we'll just see. That's a big forehand from Carlos, though. Those are the kind of forehands Carlos is going to have to hit. Listen, Djokovic has lost to big hitters when he's lost at Wimbledon. If Carlos is going to take out Novak, then he's going to have to do it with big shots. He's going to have to do it with big shots and big plays. Serve down the line is long. Another serve coming for Medvedev. Another serve coming for Medvedev. Matt, Jabor and Djokovic. Okay. Backhand to the forehand of Daniil. Backhand into the forehand of Daniil standing on that ad side. Big forehand from Carlos. Medvedev is there. Slice from Carlos, but that's a perfect winner. And those are the kind of points that Carlos is going to have to play to have a chance against Djokovic. Those are the kind of shots Carlos is going to have to hit. That was a huge forehand to set him up on the run, and that was a beautiful slice to get to 3-set points. Hope Carlos won't cramp again in the finals. I'd be highly surprised. I would be highly surprised. But we'll see. We'll see. Carlos did cramp once. We'll see, but I don't know. I think Carlos will. I think he'll show up in the final. I think he'll show up for every set. The question is whether he has enough. Medvedev saves 1-set point. 2 more to go here. 2 more to go. Serve into the backhand of Carlos. Backhand from Daniil. That's long from Carlos, though. Carlos practices a perfect drop shot off of the shot that Daniil hits back. It's a 30-40, though. 30-40. Daniil saves 2-set points. It's a third one coming here for Carlos to completely break this open. Like I said, Carlos has only lost 1 match in his career from up a set in a major, and that was 2.5 years ago. He's never lost from up 2 sets. Backhand from Medvedev is long, and that's exactly what Carlos is going to have to do in the first time in his career. Medvedev going to have to compile an amazing comeback because we're at 6-3, 6-3. This head-to-head, this rivalry is really proven one way. Still, we've seen some great shots, some great points. If we want to gauge how good Alcaraz is going to do against Djokovic in the final, we want to see this third set as well. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys are enjoying. 6-3, 6-3 for Carlos. 6-3, 6-3 for Carlos. Some good points, though. If he beats Nole, it'll be like changing of the guard. Absolutely. I've been saying, not just because he beats Novak in the final, I've had the theory of what this one thing for a long time now. When one of these younger guys, super young guys, wins Australian Open, French Open, or Wimbledon, then we can start talking about a changing of the guard. Listen, if Sinner wins the U.S. Open, as excited out of my mind as will be, people will be like, oh my God, changing of the guards. Alcaraz and Sinner wins U.S. Open back-to-back. Listen, these young guys have been winning the U.S. Open. It's not about the U.S. Open. It's the same 5 guys have won all the first 3 majors of the year for the last, whatever. We need to see it happen at one of these first 3 majors, and then we can start talking about changing of the guard and a new era. That's my opinion. Once we see one of these guys winning one of the first 3 majors of the year, that's when we might see the start of a new era. That might be when that happens. But until then, it's kind of hard to say that because we're on a, what is it? I think a 15 major winning streak of Nadal and Djokovic winning all the majors outside the U.S. Open. And they're doing it in their mid-30s. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. If we're talking realistically, I feel like a new era happens when one of these guys wins a major outside of the U.S. Open, one of the first 3. That's when something huge happens. Because the big 3, they've been dominant over majors in general, but they've been dominant over majors outside the U.S. Open. But anyway, we're at 6-3, 6-3. And so has Djokovic, by the way. Australian Open and Wimbledon, last few years, he's been just killer. We're here starting off the second set. I don't know what ESPN is doing. There are people standing right in front of the camera. That was super awkward. Just people standing right in front of the camera. It's a backhand wide from Medvedev. Medvedev going to be disappointed because Carlos at 15 love. Carlos serving first too, which is good. I felt like I was committing treason when I predicted Alcaraz to beat Nole in the final before the tournament in my bracket. Who knows, though? Healthy Alcaraz really made it tough for Djokovic Madrid. Okay. I mean, I like the gall to pick him. I want new blood, and that comes as a Djokovic fan. I want a guy to come up because it is getting a little bit predictable. As much as I do want a calendar year Grand Slam as well, or a chance at one, I think that would be cool too, because the big three, Djokovic, as dominant as they've been, they still haven't won the Grand Slam on 3 different surfaces as well. So that could be fun, but I want new blood. I'm glad that you chose him. I like the gall to choose that, David. I had Djokovic. I predicted Djokovic beating Sinner in the semis on my draw preview in straight sets. So I had it exactly right at that. Then I had Djokovic beating Alcaraz in the final in 4. So that was my prediction. We'll see how right it is. It's not a very it's not a particularly bold prediction. I think the boldest thing about that is that I didn't give Sinner a set in the match that they played in the semis. I turned out to be right, but anyway, but yeah, that was my draw preview on my channel, Tennis Commentary Booth with Anthony Hirsch. If you want to check out my stuff, you can sub to my channel, Tennis Commentary Booth with Anthony Hirsch. Make sure to sub to Quality Shot Tennis. By the way, slap shot down the middle from Medvedev. Perfect slice the opposite direction. I said I wasn't seeing anything special from either guy in the middle of the second set. Alcaraz is starting to impress me more now. He's starting to impress me a little bit more. Starting to impress me a little bit more. At the time, I thought Djokovic would struggle motivation-wise, being ahead in the slam race. First time, that was, David, that was my biggest factor. That was my biggest factor for Novak. I had 2 big factors. Number 2 was the physical factor, Djokovic at 36 years old. And number 1 was the fact that he just has new motivation. Passing Federer and Nadal, I think he has to have new motivations now, because that was his motivations through his whole career. We'll see. We'll see what that's like in the final. You still could be right, David. You could be right, but yeah. Ha ha ha. Okay. Yeah. I mean yeah. I got that one right. I'm not always right, but I will say it because I did get it. What is going on with Medi? Says Lexi. Alcaraz. Chubb. Alcaraz is not a good matchup for Alcaraz. If they play at the US Open or an indoors event, I'm still going to be tuning in. I'm still going to be going in with an open mind for Medvedev, just because I think faster courts outside of grass courts will do him better. He will also definitely switch up his game plan, I would think, from standing so far back all the time. And among other things that he's doing, like really just rallying with Alcaraz and letting him dictate. There's a lot of things Medvedev can do a lot better against Alcaraz, especially on faster courts, but Alcaraz is happening. Alcaraz is not a good matchup for Medvedev one bit. Alcaraz is basically like just an aggressive version of Medvedev. Like he likes hitting these crazy shots from crazy positions, but Alcaraz likes doing it from inside the court and side to side. Medvedev likes doing it from way back, but the aggression, the drop shotting, the dictating of Alcaraz, it's really just a nightmare for Medvedev so far in their head-to-head. We're at 15:30 for Carlos on the Medvedev serve. This is looking like Carlos is going to take it. Carlos is starting to play crazy, though. Shout out Carlos, because Carlos has raised his level. Thank you guys joining in. Stick around for the end of this one. Anthony here, commentating Quality Shot Tennis. Alcaraz trying to reach his first Wimbledon final. Medvedev clapping to his camp, but Medvedev, you're the one with the racket, Daniil. Come on, you're at 15:40. Daniil does that a lot, though. I mean, that's not really a bad sign from Daniil. I've seen him just absolutely his coaching box and Daniil cursing at each other, and then Daniil just comes out of nowhere and wins the next set. So it's not necessarily a terrible sign, but like that's not a fault. Is his Daniil still doesn't love the grass courts like a hard court. We're at 2-0 for Daniil. We're at 2-0 for we're at 2-0 for Alcaraz, not for Daniil. We're at 2-0 for Carlos. In the lead here. Not exactly sure what Daniil is doing. I think he's trying to get a new racket. Daniil getting a new racket or something. I think Daniil dropped a shock absorber. That's what it is. Daniil. my bad, Sam. Daniil it is. Daniil Medvedev. I tend to do that a lot with his name for whatever reason. Because I have a few friends named Daniel too. I'm just used to saying Daniel, but it is Daniil. Sam, yeah, no, that's my bad. If Alcaraz takes this game, so Djokovic and Alcaraz in the finals. Yes, who do you think will win? I still got my same prediction. I got Djokovic winning 4 sets. I see Alcaraz taking a set. But let's say I really am not. I don't think that's a shoe-in. I didn't think it was at the French Open either, but I don't think it is here either. We'll see what happens. And one of the big things is the mental side for Djokovic, trying to find new motivations. Now, once more, he's won the last 3 majors he's played in. It's hard to keep that up. Um, I said, all right, that's a bad return from Medvedev. Medvedev is not playing his game right now. Medvedev plays his game when he makes a lot of returns in play, hits a lot of shots deep, really pulls his opponents into hard positions, and he does that himself from difficult positions. But Daniil is not able to play his game so far. It's 30 love. Alcaraz has won 17 of the last 20 points. Huge stat. 17 of the last 20 points. Carlos sliced to the backhand of Daniil Cross. Backhand slice down the line. Alcaraz switching it up a lot, though. Forehand from Carlos, the squash eye keeps it in. We're about to see something crazy. Backhand from Carlitos, it's in the net, but that was a great get, though. 30-15. Carlos is fast. Carlos takes the cake in this match. Carlos takes the strawberries and cream. That's it. That's it. Carlos takes the strawberries and cream. I think so. Carlos is switching it up a lot, and guess what? Medvedev is not switching it up. He's still standing in deep. He's not doing anything to switch it up. He's not doing anything to switch it up. Carlos is going everywhere, all spots on his serve. He's going all over the court, making Medvedev run. Carlos is dictating, and listen, when Carlos is dictating, what can Daniil Medvedev do? What can Daniil Medvedev do? He's not really hurting Alcaraz in any kind of way. We're at 30 all. 30 all, though. Do the conditions appear slower under the roof, or is Carlos just returning great? Carlos has been returning awesome. On a fast indoor hard court, Daniil would not be struggling this much. I agree. Indoor hard courts, I would be very curious as to how Daniil does, but at this point, I would only be looking at them just about even on an indoor hard courts. I mean, outside that, great drop volley, by the way, on Carlos. Carlos's touch has been spot on in this match. Drop volleys. His drop shots weren't great against Runa, but he's picked it right back up here. Net points won 24 out of 28 for Carlos. 24 out of 28 for Carlos. That's a great, great stat. 24 out of 28 net points here. Carlos won 77% of net points in their Indian Wells final, but he's won even way more in this one. That's got to be at like 90%. That's a forehand long from Daniil, and Daniil just can't make a return in play. Listen, we've seen 2 one-sided semis, and you get a good feeling in your stomach about Carlos going up to the final again. You did have the French Open, though, and Carlos couldn't do it. We'll see here. Carlos has picked up his level. Carlos has picked up his level. But yeah, I the conditions I don't think are slower under the roof. If anything, I think they make him faster. Carlos has just been returning awesome all tournament. The way Carlos was returning against Berrettini was amazing. And yeah, thoughts on Sinner's performance in the semi. Anthony, Novak did everything better than what Sinner could do. I felt like Jannik just didn't have anything. He was missing forehands all over. He was making quite a bit of unforced errors in tight moments as well. He was going for too much. Jannik just wasn't effective enough. He just wasn't at a top tier of play, point in, point out, and he didn't take the chances that he did get. He didn't take the chances that he did get, and he couldn't make a damn forehand in the court. He couldn't make a forehand in the court, so it was tough for Sinner. That was David. Don't make Anthony cry. That's it. That was tough. It was tough. That was depressing. I wasn't watching for a lot of that, but yeah. Ons and Saba was the best semifinal match. Ons and Saba was the best match. That's my match of the tournament. Rublev versus Bublik was a great match on the men's side as well. We had a few other good ones on the men's side. On the women's side, we've had a lot of great ones. We had Jabeur taking on Rybakina. We had Swiatek taking on Bencic. We had Swiatek Svitolina. We had Svitolina Azarenka. We've had a lot of classics on the women's side, but Jabeur versus Sabalenka, that's my best match of the tournament, period. Forehand hits the side. We had a gargantuan stream there yesterday as Ons compiled an amazing comeback. High level throughout. Ons with a great comeback. I'll be your commentator for the women's final. That's going to be fun. Hopefully that one's tighter than this one. Ons going for her first major, and we both know Ons deserves it. Be here for that. That's going to be some great shot making. Let's get that stream big. We got 10K on the last one. But listen, just hope you guys enjoy the content. I hope you guys come back for that one. That's tomorrow, Saturday. I don't know the exact time, but I think it's probably going to be like 9:30 or 10 Eastern time. Probably, what would that be? Like 2 p.m. In England, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. in England. But yeah, definitely come back tomorrow for that one. Noel, just another level. That's it too, David. Noel, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Nole was just like Novak. I mean, just the way that he played was just constant depth, constant pressure. Absolutely. It was just constant depth from Novak. The term that was coming out of my mouth after seeing that match was just constant depth. Novak wasn't letting Yannick have anything. That's the amazing thing Novak can do, even on defense. Even from difficult positions, he can hit super deep into the court. That's what Daniil can usually do, hit super deep from any position, way down deep in the court, but in defensive positions. But he hasn't been able to do that so far. But he's at 40-15. Medvedev trying to get back into this one. Serve is wide from Daniil. Anthony, I think 9 a.m. Eastern. Okay, I appreciate it, Matt. Yeah. 9 a.m. Eastern. Be here for the women's final tomorrow. I think 9 a.m. Eastern. Sometime early tomorrow morning. Probably 9 o'clock. So Medvedev backhand is wide. 9 a.m. sounds right. 40-30 for Medvedev. Still a game point to at least get back on serve in this one. Listen, 2 one-sided semifinals, but listen, hopefully we get a good final. If we get 2 one-sided semifinals, let's at least get a good final. Forehand swinging volley. Carlos is there, though, because of course he is. Smash. Carlos still jumps for it. Carlos is everywhere. Carlos is outside of where the camera can even see. He's run from all over the course, hitting squash shots, hitting shots you've never seen before, played on a tennis court. But Medvedev at least gets on the court with Medvedev at least gets on the scoreboard in the second set. We're at 3-1. Medvedev's a good competitor. Medvedev will still be fighting, but nothing to say except let's see how Alcaraz tries to finish this one off. Alcaraz at 3-1 in this third set. Serve down the line into the back end of Daniil. Forehand inside out to the back end of Daniil. Backhand slice into the forehand chip of Carlos. Forehand from Daniil into the forehand of Carlos. Forehand Daniil into the backhand of Carlos. Cross to the backhand of Daniil cross. That's a great slice from Carlos. That slice has been on fire from Carlos. Backhand into the backhand slice of Carlos. Again, that's a good shot cross court. Backhand slice. It's not that one. Just missed the sideline, though. It looked like it was going inside the court, but it just floated away past the sidelines. Love 15. Medvedev still breathing some air into this match. We're at love 15. Probably more like 9, 10 a.m. No, yeah, that's right. But yeah, around 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Daniil has lost any belief. He can't wait to check out and get to hard courts. I think so. But listen, shout out Daniil getting to 3 big semifinals on all 3 surfaces. Like, he reached a big semifinal on all 3 surfaces. So that's exciting as well. We got over 40 people in chat. Thank you guys for joining in. Fun one so far. Love 15. I mean, more one-sided, but some fun points. It's a forehand in the net, though. Listen, Daniil, Carlos had a few difficulties closing out against who was it? Against Berrettini. Did better against Runa. But let's see. He's at love 30. A small chance here for Daniil. Daniil about to take the break point. Okay, we got a prediction from Max. Let's see what happens. Daniil here at love 30. Medvedev standing way back behind the court. That's a great return, way deep. Medvedev with the backhand to the forehand of Carlos. Again into the net. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know if it's lack of confidence. But it's at love 40. Listen, if Carlos is gonna want to beat Djokovic, he's gonna want to finish off well. That was also a problem for Carlos in his quarterfinal against Tsitsipas. He was up 5-2 in the third set, and it went to a third set breaker. 5-2 in match points against Tsitsipas. If Carlos wants a chance against Novak, he'll need to finish matches off. This is going all towards Alcaraz. Let's see if Alcaraz can hold here. He's down love 40. Squash shot off the return from Medvedev. Medvedev run into the do side for some reason. Alcaraz, I'm not sure what that was from Daniil because Alcaraz hit an easy drop ball the other side. Daniil still looking as motivated as ever. The look in Daniil's eye can be scary. Straight ahead, just all eyes on the game. He's not thinking about anything else, just all eyes on the game. He's focused. 50-40. That's how Daniil always looks on return. Serve out wide from Carlos is just long. Anthony, any predictions on the men's final? I'll give you my prediction after this game. Although this game might influence it. And it's a double fault from Carlos. Nervy, bad game from Carlos to give Daniil back the break. I'm looking at Daniil. Daniil also looks like, listen, I got the break back, but I don't know how good of a chance that is for me to get back into this match. But Daniil is going to be fighting. He's going to slowly try. He's going to try to do something similar to that quarterfinal match against Tsitsipas before Carlos had to play Novak. But Anthony, any predictions for the men's final? Prediction for the final is predictions for the final. My prediction is Novak wins it in 4 sets. I think Carlos is going to going to have chances, and just like Yannick, I think he's not going to take a lot of them because I think he's still lacking the confidence that, for example, Novak has on the grass courts, and Novak is still so clutch in tight moments. I think probably depressingly for a lot of people, my prediction is Carlos isn't going to take a whole lot of chances. He's going to win a set, maybe the second set, like an RG, one of the middle sets. But I think Novak is going to prove too strong and too clutch, and he's going to pull it out. And yeah, but I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, Carlos is a big hitter. If Carlos, I just think Novak can struggle against big servers. I think Novak is going to have a lot of chances on the Carlos serve. And I think more chances than Carlos is going to have on Novak's serve off the return. And if Carlos can be super aggressive, he's hitting that forehand huge. He's serving pretty well, but I just think like Novak is too effective, too confident on the grass courts. He's going to be too clutch. I think Carlos's way to beat Novak is being super aggressive, pushing Novak back, and just hoping that he can be the more clutch player. And probably coming to net, drop shotting isn't a bad idea, switching it up, but I think Novak is a big favorite. That's a great get from Carlos. That's the hands of Carlos. Great skill from Carlos. He gets under a drop shot from Daniil, and he hits a shot past Medvedev. We're at love for team. But I think Novak's going to be a little bit more clutch than Carlos in that final. But I think Carlos is going to give himself chances. But I don't think he's going to cramp up. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be tight, similar to the last couple finals. Actually, very similar. I think it's going to be a tight 4-setter, but I think Novak's going to pull it out. That's my prediction. Could be totally wrong, but those are kind of some of my thoughts on it. Like, Carlos is going to want to be aggressive like he did there. Carlos said, okay, fans want a match. We want a match. So Carlos said, let's give Daniil one break. We don't want to see this be a bagel, but okay, Daniil, you had your fun. Carlos says, okay, I'm going to hit huge forehands all the way to the win here. That's how he's going to want to play against Novak too. Push Novak back, put him into a defensive position, just find a way to finish Novak off, because even at 36, it's not easy. Backhand cross. Carlos nearly there with the one-hander, but it goes wide. We're at 15-30. 15-30 for Daniil. We're still on serve. We're on serve. But momentum is with Carlos. Breakpoint back. Yeah, looks like we're getting there. But it's 15-30 here in this one. 15-30 here in this one. It's a backhand is long. So second, so another break point here for Carlos, 15-40. Another break point for Carlitos at 15-40. Double break point. Daniil's girlfriend, by the way, just can't watch the match. Or sorry, Daniil's wife, I should say. I don't know why I'm saying girlfriend. Daniil's wife, I believe. They do have a kid together. Forehand from Daniil down the line. Oh, backhand get. Carlos nearly gets it. Hits the tape. It goes back to the side, though. 30-40. Daniil was waiting for it, though. Listen, both these guys like each other. Both these guys have the respect for each other. Before Wimbledon, Daniil was like, yeah, I think Carlos can win Wimbledon like 5 times. I think Carlos has the game for grass courts. Daniil came into this match knowing what to expect from Carlitos. Daniil with a serve into the net, a second serve coming. Daniil knows how tough Carlos can be on grass courts as well. Backhand from Carlos into the backhand of Daniil. Backhand from Carlos, slice to the forehand of Daniil. Backhand cross court into the backhand of Daniil. Backhand down the line into the forehand of Daniil. Backhand to the forehand of Daniil to the forehand of Carlitos. That's big down line. Medvedev still gets there. Forehand is long. That's a great get from Medvedev. Carlos hands on hips. He's breathing heavy. Carlos is the guy. Carlos has a great mentality. Carlos has been super winning, but don't think Carlos can't succumb to nerves and pressure. That's been a constant in his career so far. You can't say it hasn't. And Carlos owns up to it too. He said it in Canada and Cincinnati last year. Carlos said, I wasn't happy on the court. I got nervous. Carlos, when he's been a solid favorite, when he's been number one in the world, that's been some of his hardest times. He's number one seed at Wimbledon. But listen, he has a great mentality, but he can't succumb to nerves. He's gotten a little bit nervous here closing this out. It's a double fault, though, from Daniil. And I am high on Carlos. I'm high on his mentality, but we can't call it as it is. We got to call it as it is. Medi to make a great comeback. Let's see. Medi with the AO 2022 comeback versus Carlitos, like Nadal had against Medi. Let's see it. I hope to see it down a set, 2 sets, and what was it, a break in that one? Or was it 3 triple break point to go down a break? Whatever it was. Double fault followed by a service winner from Daniil. Carlos playing very well in this match so far, though, but he's got to be more clutch. He's got to be clutch to finish this out, especially if he wants a chance against Novak. Backhand into the forehand of Daniil. Daniil, forehand inside out to the backhand slice of Carlos. Forehand inside out, right in the corner. Backhand to the backhand slice of Carlos. Oh, no. No. Terrible shot choice from Daniil. Daniil should have closed the net. Daniil Medvedev blew that one bad. That was a terrible shot from Daniil. Daniil had a huge advantage in that rally. He completely rushed himself on that shot. He decided to go for a half volley kind of shot, right off the rise, right into the top of the net. He was only like half a foot in front of the net. That's not a shot you want to do, and Medvedev knows it. Serve into the top of the net. Nerves have gotten the hold of both of these guys here. You can't be nervous against Djokovic. You can't have even one nerve. Not against Djokovic. Oh, it's a fake backhand from Carlos. Listen, Carlos has hit that shot a few times. Carlos is like the new Roger Federer. He invents shots that you've never seen on a tennis court every time he steps on there. He goes with a slice as if he's going to hit it across court. He fakes it and hits it down the line. Medvedev is still there, though. We're at 2-3. We're still on serve. We're at deuce. What a shot from Carlos. That was an amazing shot. That's what you have to say. Even in points that players lose, they can still hit some pretty skillful shots. Their skill, even when a player loses, their still skill. Tennis is a small margin sport. Backhand pass, terrible shot from Medvedev, and you just feel like Medvedev is not really doing enough against Carlitos here. It's another break point for Carlitos. Medvedev is hitting a lot of bad errors. This is not Medvedev's best. It's a break point for Carlitos. Let's see if he can put this away. Break point for Carlitos in this one. Serve is a second serve come in. But yeah, don't forget to drop a like as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Quality Shot Tennis. I've got the women's final for you on Saturday. Faison's got the men's final. We did 10K for Jabeur versus Sabalenka. That was an amazing match. That was a fun stream as well. Join in for the women's final and join in for the men's final. It's looking like Alcaraz Djokovic. Let's see what Daniil has to say about it, though. Good forehand get from Daniil. That's a big forehand inside out. Daniil gets to it. But it's a smash all day from Carlos. And Carlos is looking. Medvedev beat Daniil at Wimbledon 2 years ago in straight sets. But Carlos, ever since Carlos has become Carlos, he hasn't dropped a set to Daniil Medvedev. The Russian is down 2-0 and a break, unfortunately, here. Carlos is looking to serve this out. Maybe it's good news for the final. I thought before this match that if one of these guys is going to play Novak in the final, then it's probably Carlos who has the better chance, even though Medvedev has beat Novak in a major final. Because I really don't know what Medvedev can do on grass to hurt Novak at all. I really have zero clue. I mean, everybody's saying, in my opinion, that Medvedev has a better shot to beat Novak at Wimbledon. I think I think they need to watch Carlos play queens because Carlos has weapons, big shots that can hurt Novak. I just don't know what Medvedev can do against Novak on grass courts. It would be a match that would look very similar to this, I think. That's my opinion on it. Carlos at least has a shot, and his best shot is if this is straight sets. It's out from Medvedev, 15-love. Out from Medvedev, who I think just hits it behind him into the crowd, whether on purpose or not. Kind of lobs it behind him. It's 15-love. Medvedev is frustrated. I feel bad for Medi, though. Me too. I feel bad for Medi. This is proving to be a bad head-to-head for Daniil. This is proving to be a bad head-to-head for Daniil. 15-love here. Not much else to say. Medvedev is just playing the same game plan on the grass courts. Oh, a tweener from Carlos with a volley. Hits in the net, though. Whatever. I don't hate it. Why not? Why not? 15 all, 15 love. Two sets love up and a break. It's whatever. Yeah, Carlos is going to win this match. Medvedev has very little that can hurt Carlos. Medvedev also looks kind of tired, to be honest. He's playing some weird shot choices. So let's see what happens. I think Alcaraz will struggle with Sinner in the final. Don't trick me, Sean. Sinner's not in the final. Why are you tricking me? Oh, it's a forehand that was going long from Medvedev. Carlos, for some reason, sticks his hand out. Alcaraz clearly win. Yeah, Alcaraz has this one. But yeah, Alcaraz will struggle with Novak in the final. That's possible. We'll see what happens. Alcaraz has to be more clutch finishing up against Novak. There's no doubt about it. He's got that revenge motivation. He's got that revenge motivation. He's got that revenge motivation from the RG semi that they played. Now it's one step closer in a final. Listen, he could lose in the RG semis against Novak. Then he could maybe in the final he doesn't quite get it. US Open, maybe he beats him one step further each time. We'll see. Bit of a pattern coming here, but he's got Carlos is going to want to do it right here at Wimbledon. We'll see what he can do. Kick serve into the backhand of Daniil. Backhand from Carlos down the line. Medvedev still running. That's a good get. Forehand cross. Backhand from Daniil. Cross. Backhand slice. Is a pass. But it's too good for Medvedev. Medvedev getting 2 break points again. Daniil does not know how to quit. Daniil does not know how to quit. We're at 15:40. Daniil does not know how to quit. Goat in final, not Sinner. Yeah. Djokovic in the final, not Sinner. Djokovic in the final, not Sinner. As much as I would want to say that Sinner is. I could just pretend to myself. I'm a Djokovic fan too, but Sinner is just Sinner's my guy for whatever reason. For whatever reason, I decided to torture myself. We're at 15:40. Carlos with a big serve out wide. Backhand from Carlos is long. This is not good signs from Carlos. Listen, Carlos has picked up his level. He's been the better player. He picked up his level from the middle of the second set to pretty much the start of the third set. But ever since 3-2, or what was it, 2-1, Carlos has really not been clutch enough. I think at 3-2, Carlos has not been clutch enough. This is not the clutchness that will be able to do much against Novak in the final. Yeah. Screw it, Sinner's in the final, I wish I could pretend to myself, but wish I could pretend to myself. I wonder if Medi can win another game now. Medi does get another game. He breaks back, Max. He breaks back, Max. By the way, not the super close match we would have wanted. It's getting closer in this third set, but glad for you all joining anyway. Max, Lexi, Sam. We got Marija in chat as well. Novak is going to win Wimbledon. It seems like it's Novak's to lose all the way. We got Sam, Marija. We got Matt Hill in the chat as well. We got Sean Power. Who else? We got KT Logos. We had Ghost in here. We had David Faison watching on as well. David chatting away in the chat as well. Thank you all for joining in. Fun shot making. Danielle trying to make a contest of this third set. We'll have the coverage for you. Anthony Hirsch, you're commentating. Tennis commentary booth with Anthony Hirsch. If you want to check out my thing, tennis commentary booth with Anthony Hirsch. Quality Shot Tennis. We have this match for you. But Daniil just does not know how to break. Does not know how to quit. He gets the break back. Daniil gets the break back. Daniil does not know how to quit. He doesn't know how to quit. 3-4. 3-4, Medvedev serving. Forehand down the middle into the backhand of Daniil is wide from Daniil. Listen, both guys are not being clutch right now. This is only looking. Listen, both of these guys look like they're not the most confident on grass courts. They're not the most clutch. Alcaraz is confident on grass, but he doesn't have the outright confidence to finish this off like he would need to against Novak. I like Alcaraz on grass. I do, but I'm just thinking against Novak in the final. Carlos, this is only his 4th grass court event. It's only going to be tough against Novak in the final, despite Carlos playing so well on the grass courts. Oppenheimer apparently is great. Looking forward to that one. I've been hyped for Oppenheimer since the start. I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan. I got a big Inception poster in my room. I'm a huge Nolan fan. Memento is my favorite movie of all time. It really is. It's been my favorite of all time for a while. 15 all. Nolan's awesome. But it's a Forehand return down the middle. Carlos can't get it. Daniil hit with a winner cross score. We're at 30-15. Daniil making a match of this. Stick around for that. Daniil making a match of this. Let's see if he can at least win this third set, make it interesting. At least do that. Bring us to a fourth set. We want to see a four-setter at least. Maybe Alcaraz needs it. Maybe Alcaraz needs it going into Djokovic. He'll need to learn a lesson here to clutch up at the end. And it's not going to be a straight setter against Novak. He'll have to get used to playing tough matches against top players. Double fault from Medi. We're at 30 all, though. Regardless what happens, we're at 6-3, 6-3, 4-3, 30 all. The first set was kind of close, but the score is looking mighty close to what it was in Indian Wells. Medi hasn't switched it up enough. Forehand out wide. He's looking tired. He's looking wary. He played a five-setter against Eubanks. I mean, talking about both these players' route to get here. I mean, Alcaraz beat Shardy in the first round very comfortably. Then Muller, then Jari and Berrettini in 4 sets. And then Rune in straight sets. That was more one-sided than most expected. And then Medvedev, a 5-setter against Eubanks. And Medvedev, this is the first seed Medvedev has played in the event. The squash shot, and Alcaraz's power and his level is too much. 6-3, 6-3, 5-3. Don't go anywhere. Don't miss Carlitos trying to get into his first Wimbledon final. Who said Carlos isn't getting to Wimbledon final? Carlos doing Nadal things. Not to do too much of a comparison, but he is. Back in 2005, whatever, people were like, this guy is a clay courter. There were all these Nadal comparisons. But listen, Carlos trying to get to his first Wimbledon final, and why shouldn't he be? He has a much more aggressive game than Nadal. Much more similar to Federer with the aggression, with the touch. Oh, what a around the net return from Medvedev. Are you kidding me? What a shot from Daniil. I love 15. I've seen Daniil do that before. Out of absolutely nowhere. Daniil hits an around the net return. Daniil is one. Carla, we're not only seeing one of the all-time talents on the court. Medvedev is so talented, man. Daniil just hit a around the net return, and the crowd just said, yeah. The crowd just said, yeah, because the score, because of whatever. That was absurd. Around the net return from Daniil pulled out way, way deep in the court. That was absurd. Love 15 from Medvedev. That's the third time I've seen him hit that shot. Forehand into the forehand of Daniil, way deep on the baseline. Backhand from Daniil into the backhand cross. Backhand of Daniil down the, but it's long. 3 points away is Carlos. Daniil can hit crazy shots all he wants. He can hit around the net off a return of serve. He can hit around the net off a return of serve. He can do whatever. Carlos is 3 points away. Can't believe Medi lost in straights. Yep, Carlos. Carlos, too tough here. Good signs for Carlos going into that final, though. Carlitos trying to get into his first Wimbledon final here. Let's see what he can do. Carlitos trying to get into his first Wimbledon final here at 15 all. First serve into the net. Second serve for Carlitos. We'll have the men's final for you, too. Hopefully it's not as one-sided as this. Carlos versus Novak, part 2. They're 1-1. They're head-to-head. You don't want to miss that on Sunday. Faison's got that one for you. Backhand into the backhand slice of Carlitos. Backhand slice from Medi. This is Carlos's match all day because Medi looks tired or something. He's not hitting his shots. This is looking like 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. Last 2 service games that Carlos has had, it's been like 4 breaks in a row or something. Carlos has not been clutch on his serve. We'll see if he can finish this off, but it's 6-3, 6-3, 5-3, 30-15. Carlos looking for his first Wimbledon final to bring on Carlos versus Novak part 2. The last set before Carlos cramped up. It's a forehand pass. Is it in from Medi, though? 30 all. Medi at least hitting some good passing shots on the way out. Listen, Medi played a good first set. Like, it was decent until the last couple of games, but that's it. Medi needs to switch up his play, his strategy going into the next one. We're at 30 all, though. Let's see if Alcaraz can finish Medi off. If Alcaraz wants any kind of chance against Novak, he'll have to suck up the nerves and finish off in these late stages for sure. He'll have to finish off. It's 30 all here. Carlos serving. Forehand from Daniil is way wide. That's a good serve from Carlos. All right, guys. Carlos Alcaraz looking for his first Wimbledon final. He will have made his second major final on 2 different surfaces, and it's not clay courts. It's grass courts and hard courts. Alcaraz looking for his first Wimbledon final. That's already huge for Carlos Alcaraz in his third time playing Wimbledon. First serve is out. First serve is long. Second serve coming here for Carlos at 40-30. Carlos looking for the first Wimbledon final. Kick serve out wide. Medvedev backhand to the forehand of Carlos. Medvedev backhand. Cross to the backhand slice of Carlos. Medvedev backhand. Cross court to the backhand of Carlos. That's huge down the line. Forehand from Carlos down the line. Backhand. Medvedev is still there. Carlos is going to have to earn it. Carlos backhand. Carlos there with the forehand. Medvedev backhand. Cross. What a rally. Medvedev there with a drop volley. Carlos is going to be there. What a shot cross court. Carlos gets to Wimbledon final. Hands in the air. Carlos is in to a Wimbledon final. And it was the best point of the match to get there. Carlos always seems to get there on match point. What a shot from Carlos to do it. What a shot. Passing shot from Carlos Alcaraz. The best point of the match. That was absurd. Shot to shot. Corner to corner. Alcaraz an absolute bullet once he comes to the net. Alcaraz an absolute bullet. Those are the kind of shots that he has to hit if he wants to take on Novak. He beat Novak in Madrid. He played an amazing second set at RG. He just started cramping up. Carlos owned up to it right away. He knows what Novak has, and he's coming for him on the grass courts. What a shot. That was one of the best match points you'll ever see. That was one of the best match points you'll ever see. Matt Hill, what a shot. We were hoping for some good points. We got it on the last point. We got it at least on the last point. Matt Hill, see you tomorrow, guys. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. I think 9 a.m. I can check right now, but it's going to be the women's final. I'll have the coverage for you. We always get hype. We have fun. It's Ons Jabeur going for her first major title. Join in to see Ons try to get her first major title against Vondrousova, who really played amazing. 9 a.m. Eastern time. That's, what would that be? That's 2 p.m. time in England. 9 a.m. Eastern. Join in for that. Tomorrow, women's final. You want to be there. You want to be there. Ashley, thanks, Anthony. Yeah, no problem. This match ended so quickly. Both matches were one-sided, but listen, if Carlos is going to want to like his chances against Novak, then that's going to be a big thing. What a match point, though. They're speaking to Carlos right now. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, no problem. Excellent commentary. Thanks. I appreciate it a lot, G. I'll appreciate it a lot. I'll be here for the women's final as well. Who's commentating the women's final? Max and I am. I got the women's final tomorrow, the first major final that I'll be commentating. The first big final that I'll be commentating for the channel. So I'm super hyped. Hope you guys join in for that. It's been Anthony Hersher on commentary. Like I said, I'll be doing the women's final tomorrow. I'll be doing more streams for QualityShot Tennis, but tennis commentary booth with Anthony Hirsch. If you want to check out my channel, I might do a preview on that channel for one of the finals. We'll see. But I post on there. I'll be posting more, so check me out as well. At Commentary Booth on Twitter, Commentary Booth on Twitter, Tennis Commentary Booth on Instagram, Tennis Commentary Booth with Anthony Hirsch. That's my stuff where I post about tennis. Cedric, thanks, Anthony. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Glad to bring it to you. Not as exciting or epic as we would have wanted, but yes. Yes, what a point. Ashley, wow, what a shot. Matt Hill, what a shot. What a shot it was. Match ended so quickly, hour and 50 minutes. That's very short for a 3-set match. Bye, Anthony. See you later, Sam. Join in tomorrow. Join in tomorrow. Thank you, Anthony, for commentating tomorrow. I'm so excited. Major final, and I'm the biggest Jabeur fan. I do like Vondrousova as well. I think she's a super skilled player. I'm excited for that one, but Ons Jabeur, she deserves a major. Let's see if she can get it tomorrow. She said before, I'm winning Wimbledon. Like 4 or 5 years ago, she took a photo of the Wimbledon trophy. She was like, I'm winning Wimbledon. She's looking to get now. She said, I wasn't ready last year. Well, she deserves a major. Let's see if she can get one tomorrow. She's had a long journey over here, almost 29 years old. Let's see if Ons can get one. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. Sam, let's hope you're here for tomorrow for the women's final. Yeah, Sam, come back. I'm glad to have you. Sam ZK. Sam ZK, what a match point that was. Listen, it reminds me of Alcaraz in Madrid versus Novak and Rafa. Listen, Alcaraz in Madrid versus Novak and Rafa, he had the most incredible match points in both those matches. He had like the most amazing get and then a banana shot past Rafa to win in his, quarterfinal there. And then in the semifinal, just an outright forehand winner to take out Novak after 3 hours and 40 minutes. Carlos knows how to finish in style. Listen, Carlos is an amazing shot maker. He's also just, Carlos is like, he does really well in like big matches, big points, big moments. But yeah, this was one more sided than we would have hoped. But look who we got in the chat. We had some fun points too. Like that match point. He plays Novak in the next round. They are speaking to him right now. We got Max, Sam, Cedric, Ashley. Carlos saying that he's super excited to play Novak in the final. He said he's dreamed since he was a kid to play him in the major final. Carlos says, let's go for it and let's see what happens. I have a good feeling about Carlos. I don't think we're going to see an RG situation. I don't think he's going to cramp up. I think all 4 sets will be contested. I think we'll see a match that is highly contested. I still think Novak is too strong on grass courts for Carlitos. But listen, we saw it on clay courts. Next up, grass courts. We saw it on clay courts. Next up, grass courts. Faison's got the call for that on Sunday. Make sure to join in Sunday for the final. Quality Shot Tennis has got that one for you. I'll definitely be joining in chat as well, but Faison will be on the call for that. Carlos Novak, part 3. They had one of the best sets you'll see in a long time in RG before Carlos started cramping up in the second set. And their match in Madrid was one of the all-time great 3-setters. That is a great rivalry, and we're seeing part 3 on Sunday. But yeah, thank you guys for joining in. Just before we go, let's look at the stats. I think the stats will actually not be like overwhelmingly Carlos, but I think they'll be clearly in Carlos's favor. Yeah, 59% first serve percentage for Medi is not good enough. He won a lot of points on the first serve, though. On the first serve, not a lot on the second serve. 24 winners, 19 errors, 26 winners, 17 errors. That's what I'm talking about. It's pretty close. It's pretty close, but Carlos did so well on the second serve return, and Carlos himself was doing so good on serve. 71% first serve. You want to make at least 70% first serves in play. That's exactly what Carlos did, and Medi couldn't come even close. And that Medi just couldn't dictate, be aggressive. Medi did not do what he needed to do. I'm rooting for Ons tomorrow. Let's go on. Let's see what happens. Join in for the stream. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Okay, I'm out of here, but definitely join in tomorrow, Saturday morning. Thank you guys for joining in. That match point was crazy. That match point was crazy, and I got the women's final for you tomorrow. Vondrosova, the drop shotter, the lefty topspin, the who just reaches a big final every now and again, just plays unbelievable tennis. She hit some remarkable passing shots versus Svitolina in the last match. She's on court tomorrow versus Ongeborg, who also plays with a lot of finesse. So join in tomorrow for the women's final. But about the men's semifinal, Alcaraz did what he did in Indian Wells and took out Daniil Medvedev 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. 2 of the best players all year. And Alcaraz's game, his aggressive game, is just too much for the defense of Medvedev. He has too many shots that can hurt Medvedev, and Medvedev doesn't have enough that can hurt Carlos. Carlos versus Novak, part 3. Carlos lost in Roland Garros. We are on grass courts, but listen, it's been good every time they came on, and Carlos hit one of the best shots of all time. You would have to say in the last match with that forehand passing shot. We always see good stuff when these two go head-to-head. Carlos versus Novak, part 3. Carlos into a Wimbledon final, his first Wimbledon final, second major final. Better be there for that one. Carlos can do it on the grass.